A big hello and a very warm welcome to a special episode of Brand Equity with me, Sonali, Krishna. Now, the ongoing controversy over the alleged presence of MSG and excess lead in Maggi noodles has brought to the fore a lot of other issues apart from Maggi's current crisis. The Food Safety and Standards Act 2006 has suddenly taken center stage, with the Maggi brand ambassadors being sent legal notices, apart from, of course, the Nestle management. The Food Safety Act and subsequent rules spare no person and allow no advertisement that misleads. But the extent of a brand ambassador's liability is currently unclear and awaits an interpretation in court. However, the larger question we're looking to address today is, are the endorsers of Maggi culpable? And what should be the extent of the brand ambassador's culpability on the principles of duty of care, due diligence and product safety? And to discuss just that, I have with me a rather high-profile panel. On my right, I have Shailendra Singh, the founder of Percept, and really a man who needs no introduction, the man who actually cracks all these deals for all the celebrities we know. Next to him is Ameet, one of India's leading entertainment lawyers. On my left, I have Kamal, who is the Chief Marketing Officer of Volkswagen and the man who's really representing the marketing fraternity here. And on my extreme left, I have Anirban, the founder of Kwan. It's really a talent management company and also a man responsible for cracking all these big endorsement deals. And with that, of course, let me not waste any more time and kickstart this debate. Thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. Truly a pleasure having you on Brand Equity. Let me start with you, Shailendra. Do you think the fact that legal notices have been sent to, Amita, Preeti Zinta, Madhuri Dixit, this is something that was, what, was there a writing in the wall, or it is just suddenly taken you by surprise?
It just makes no sense to me at all. This controversy has much more than that meets the eye. It's sort of an insider controversy which has been outside because I think, somebody got it wrong at Nestle. It was a very local issue. Now it's a global issue. I mean, the kind of damage that Nestle is going through globally, it's a joke now, to be honest. And I think the celebrity's been dragged in because whoever brought up this controversy, the celebrities give a reasonable decoy. Amitabh Bachchan, 2 years ago, I mean, it's 2 years ago story. I mean, why is he being dragged into now? Preeti Zinta, long ago. I mean, it just makes no sense whatsoever. Secondly, legally, I think all celebrities are pretty much covered. They're not dumb. These people haven't got here just by singing and dancing around trees. They're very wise businessmen. They have great agents like on and other agencies. They get the drift, they know. And legally, in my opinion, they're fully covered, but I'm sure Amit will throw more light in it. But on the larger perspective is I think this is a smart decoy that somebody's playing up and ensuring that the celebrities get more attention than the controversy that actually is all about Maggi. The arrogance of, Nestle has led the Maggi controversy to just explode into a sort of a global scenario. Why would Nestle jeopardize their brand credibility globally? I mean, whoa, are you serious? So they pretty much thought that this was not going to go anywhere. But I see somebody's vested interest behind this whole controversy because it just doesn't stop, for God's sake. And if that gentleman, the CEO, I won't take his name, I don't want to get personal, but if he was smart enough, he wouldn't be arrogant enough to believe that he could get away with this. And by saying that, the Indian authorities don't know how to judge the product and we're going to be back soon in the market, etc. That is arrogance. He wouldn't have done that in China and America, for God's sake.
Sure. So really, what you're saying is that you're treating us like a third world country.
Oh, for sure, like a testing lab.
Right. So just before I come to you, Ameet, because everybody wants to know your point of view, Blah, if I could bring you in and take your point of view forward from what Shailendra said. Do you think this was something that was waiting to happen, or has this taken everybody by surprise?
I think that it's honestly a bit of a joke. Yeah. Every endorsement contract has clauses where the brand says that, we represent and we guarantee that there's no misleading communication. After that, if something like this happens, the brand ambassador has been lied to as much as the consumer, probably more so because he's been lied to in a written contract as opposed to just by thing. If anyone is responsible here, I know that Shailendra spoke about Nestle, but actually, if anyone is responsible for us eating adulterated products, it's not the brand ambassador, it is the government authority that is responsible for it. If anyone needs to be liable, it is the relevant minister or bureaucrat. So this is just, it's just easy. It's not, no, it's true.
That's a good
This
point.
is populism, right? It's an easy target. If you actually wanted to target people, why don't you target the models who appeared in the ads, the ad agency that created the ad, the newspapers and TV channels? I mean, everyone has ended up having a transaction and benefiting financially because they believed what the brand was saying.
Sure.
And the people in charge is the government.
Ameet, your point of view on, will it legally stand because they have very well constructed contracts?
So now let me give you the landscape, what has happened today.
Sure.
First and foremost, a man known as Mr. Ojha, who's a lawyer, who has had 500 cases filed by him, goes and files a complaint a private complaint and a magistrate takes cognizance and asks a FIR to be registered. Now, this is a person whose claim to fame is that he can file complaints against celebrities. So please understand, but for this, now what's the legal issue? What's the real legal issue? As Anirban said and as Shailendra said, ultimately the vocation of a celebrity is his time. His stock and trade is his time. That's his vocation. In the public domain, there is enough literature to state what Nestle is and what a reputed company it is. There are representation and warranties in all these contracts. Now, these are not just on standard in terms of good standing order, but on quality of the product. Now, a celebrity is not required to do any more due diligence than this, what is there in the public domain and beyond the scope of the contract. Correct. Now, the question is, on the face of it, what is the criminality, right, of a celebrity? Is there an intent to deceive? Is there something that he has done knowingly? The answer to that emphatically is no.
Sure.
All that a celebrity does is takes a script, engages in a contract of service, performs his duty, and that's it. Under the sections that they've contemplated also, and a bogus FIR. Look, in our country, an FIR can be filed for the asking, more so in different jurisdictions.
So therefore,
you said a summons being received, all that is a fact. And like you said, as far as Mr. Bachchan is concerned, you take the offense on the face of it. Have these celebrities indulged in the advertisement with the intent to deceive anybody? The answer is emphatically no.
But what's in the contract?
Now, as far as the contracts are concerned, and I do this for a living, and I can tell you with a sense of responsibility, that as far as the contracts are concerned, as far as the contract is concerned, every company that seeks endorsement gives a representation and warranty on quality, on applicable law, that the law of the land will be followed. What more diligence you are expecting a celebrity to do?
Is there an option for the celebrity to sue Nestle?
Look, absolutely. There is an option.
Exactly.
The question is, today, under a contract of indemnity, both civil and criminal liability, one will have to see on a case-to-case basis. But what I'm saying is this. In terms of the section, there is no offense made out. In terms of the Food Safety Act also, the maximum penalty is 10 lakh rupees.
Oh, okay.
So that's a prescription of law. The question is, your question to me, Sonali, is culpability. Yeah. Culpability is, if I knew that the product was not safe, and I still go out and endorse it with my knowledge, it's not knowingly,
correct.
Then I'm responsible. That is culpability.
Please explain to me, right? It says that the traders body, CAIT, has urged Health Minister J.P. Nadda and Consumer Affairs Minister Ram Vilas Paswan to take action against brand ambassadors of Nestle's, Maggi noodles under the FSSAI Act.
They can't, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Section 24 contemplates whoever advertises. Now, that advertisement, like Anirban rightly said, includes everybody. Is there a misrepresentation of a warranty to the consumer by the celebrity? The answer is no. You go back to the scripts of all of this, there can never be.
I mean, for me, the big question is, why is, if you're talking about culpability and liability, why is no one talking about how could the regulatory authorities or the relevant ministry allow a product like that to be sold? That's the question.
Yeah, how has this issue arisen? This is the most important thing. 2014, a sample is taken in February and March. This is all in the public domain. That sample expires in November of 2015. A report of this, which is the subject matter of this controversy, is of March 2015. So what are we talking about? Now the veracity of all that needs to be checked, and we are sitting down and saying that, look, all right, I'm a celebrity, I've endorsed it. No,
yeah, but what is the violation of Section 24 as the CAIT claims that the Maggi brand ambassadors have violated Section 24 of the Food Safety and Standards Act, and therefore the proceedings will have to be initiated against them?
All that 24 says is that if there is an advertisement and you verify with regard to the quality of the product, or you mislead anybody with regard to the quality of the product, that is not happening in this case.
Will this section apply to the minister who approved this for 30 years and we ate it? Yeah, long story short.
Yeah, exactly.
And why are you isolating this? Absolutely.
Kamal, as a marketer, who's, now with Volkswagen, but has been, CMO of several leading brands and also been an advertising person, right? What's your view on all this, given the fact that there is no legal precedent, right, for this? This is the first time, right?
So my personal opinion is, first of all, I think this whole case has thrown open how archaic our laws are, if these laws are correct, as he says it. I think the loopholes is what people take advantage of and file these cases and create this so-called glamour quotient around a controversy of a product. I come from the automotive industry. If I have to explain my cars with the nuts and bolts to any celebrity today. It's going to take a lifetime, and it's unlikely I'll reach an end objective. So I don't see this possible. But as he said, as I give an undertaking that the information that I'm providing is correct, and I take the responsibility for the information that I'm providing, then the celebrity gets covered. I cannot understand how a celebrity who's endorsing it is expected to know the details of the product he's endorsing, down to the last micro-granular aspects of those products. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, I mean, they come from a different world.
I think Sonali, there's more than meets the eye. I think we noticed the arrogance of Mr. Buckle. If you realize the case studies of brands who have had faulty products, whether automobiles, pharmaceuticals, food products, they've all just pulled it out. Yeah. The minute there's been a controversy, pull it out. Why didn't they pull the product out? And they, Nestle themselves, have pulled products out in America, China, all over the world. I thought Mr. Buckle got this wrong. Somebody really insane has been advising him where the way India operates. And I think this arrogance has led to a noodle practically bringing down an empire called Nestle. I mean, whoa. You know, I don't know who the brand custodian is.
In 2 minutes.
Yeah, in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, it's game over.
I want to know from you, Ameet, if there is anything specific in that contract that is structured which says that the ambassador takes full responsibility of the product in terms of, you know...
Never. Look, as far as the endorser is concerned, the celebrity is concerned, he is concerned and relies solely on the representation and warranties of the company. Okay. That's all that he's required to do. Then it is scripted and he performs his act. That's all.
The big question is, Mr. Narendra Modi is endorsing India on a regular basis. Can you imagine the repercussions of that? Are you understanding?
Mr. Shailendra Singh, what exactly are you saying at the moment?
Well, I'm trying to say that, you know, there are a lot of promises Mr. Narendra Modi makes on behalf of the nation at the end of the day. And he is actually transiting, you know, products and services and doing large amount of deals for India. And he speaks the language. So what happens is, what I'm trying to say is that I think he's doing it in good faith, and I'm sure he's covering himself in contracts so that he doesn't get sued tomorrow for any false promises. And I mean, this is a non-issue, for God's sake. Let these guys make some money. They're great superstars. This is a good business to be in, man.
Absolutely.
My point of view on this is that it is a joke. Don't worry about it.
Are you going to further tweak your contract? So it's okay.
I think we're fully protected legally. Exactly. This is not about the law. This is about populism. This is about frivolous litigation. And I think that if anything, celebrities need to be protected against this kind of stuff.
Do you see going forward, you know, celebrities thinking twice about endorsing brands?
I don't think so, because I think this will be quashed, and if anything, it will reassure celebrities that you have nothing to worry about.
Really?
Yeah. And I think, and I tell you what, because we discuss this with a lot of our clients on a regular basis. I think one thing that is coming out is you are going to see, in terms of negotiation of the contracts, a more detailed representation and warranty in addition to indemnities. That should obviously happen on a case-to-case basis, depending on the category of product that you're endorsing. But ultimately, as far as celebrities are concerned, I think they are going to be mindful at the same time. Given this controversy also, it is going to start a good trend. Every controversy for the subject ultimately leads to clarity. You have an archaic statute which is absolutely bizarre. You have ministers and bureaucrats talking left, right and center about it. Ultimately, let us see what happens in the prosecution in this case and in the consumer forums also.
But I still think it will throw an air of caution when celebrities are looking at brand endorsements.
Exactly.
For sure, a case like this will bring their eyes wide open before they sign on a dotted line.
Yeah, and it's okay still for, you know, multinational brands or, you know, brands of high repute. But, you know, you have so many brands and you have ambassadors, you have celebrities endorsing Tom, Dick and Harry. I mean, all and sundry brands are endorsed today. What will happen to the not so high-profile brands, you know, that still manage big faces?
I just want to put one proposition to this entire thing. One is, every time a celebrity's brand goes down, what happens to the brand itself, right? Does the brand has a provision for termination? So as far as even the smaller brands are concerned, I think the smaller brands are going to be in a position, I mean, the celebrity is going to be in a position to see that, look, these are the representation and warranties I want. So obviously, you're going to have more tighter agreements. And that's great, because everything matures with time and you sort of test it and see it. And this is a good case study to see what's going to happen on a going forward basis. But I see that there's going to be a metamorphical change over a period of time. What is happening in America will happen in India also.
Can you just educate us about that?
I'll give you an example. There is an aversion to detailed contracts.
Okay.
All right? But what you will see over a period of time is that the devil lies in the detail. So while there are things in the public domain, ultimately when we criticize different parts of the world and developed countries and say, all right, the contracts are too long, the answer is no. you need a lawyer. You need to make sure that you verify with your lawyer. And these are the do's and don'ts. So Shailendra is out. Shailendra needs to make sure that I'm with him.
Exactly.
Anirban is there. He needs to make, because ultimately you are vulnerable. And you need to make sure, yes, because this is, you are living in a society. So therefore vulnerability is there. And that is going to happen. But that's an evolution.
But it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
And nothing wrong, because ultimately this will help to make sure that you ring fence yourself from any
which is why I think that it'll only help the celebrity endorsement business.
Are you then suggesting that today it is not so detailed? Today people don't appoint lawyers. Are you saying it?
I'll tell you from a marketer's side.
Sure.
Every contract that we draw with a celebrity or a non-celebrity who's working in our ad is vetted by my legal department.
But that's you. You're one company.
Yeah, but I'm saying even when I was in the advertising side of the business, all my clients had celebrity contracts completely vetted by their legal guys before it even came to a celebrity.
No, I'm not on the vetting of the contract. I'm sorry, I'll just make myself clear. The verbiage of the contract. You see, ultimately there is an aversion in our part.
For long details, as you said.
Detailed contracts, 50-pager, 40-pager, 60-pager. That may evolve over a period of time, because ultimately you don't mind
but
that
it has
verbiage.
to.
And it has to.
I mean,
and I feel that from a pure legal standpoint, that will happen over a period of time. But see, what's very peculiar is, when this controversy broke out, rather than highlighting on the manufacturing and the aspect of
that's what I'm saying, is
just to pick up eyeballs, the controversy was simply put onto a celebrity.
The glamour quotient around the case.
Otherwise,
and who would you hold responsible for?
Well, I would say everybody, including the government, including the media, everybody. Yes, but the fact of the matter is, I would not see ultimately, as far as if you have the ministries making statements, then what is it that the media can do? So
exactly.
So it goes hand in hand.
Thank you.
Right? So I'm not saying media, but what I'm really saying is primarily is that as far as the bureaucrats are concerned, and as far as this investigation is concerned, ultimentally everything is pending investigation even today.
For me, Nestle is the biggest guilty party here.
But tell me, do you see the brand ambassadors suing Nestle?
Your question should be, do they have a right under that contract? I'm sure they have a right under that contract. I don't know it personally, but I'm sure under each of these contracts that we draft on a regular basis, obviously there is an ability to sue if there is a breach of a representation and warranty. And in fact, if it is proved that there is a breach of a representation and warranty, all of them have a great claim.
Do you think Nestle, as the company which got them on board?
I believe that Nestle made a statement 2 days ago, which is there in the public domain, where they said that we stand by the people who have endorsed our products.
Yeah, sure.
So I think that's very...
They're standing by the products also.
Right.
I mean, they're standing by everything.
They said that on the same day when the Prime Minister said that
your question to me is, what is their view as far as celebrities are concerned? That statement was very important, where they said that, no, we stand by our celebrities.
No. My question to you is, should they have made a public statement as a company that has used their services, right? Saying that, do not attack the brand endorsers because it's not their domain.
You're right, Sonali. I think that should have been more vocal rather than saying that we stand behind them. In fact, I haven't seen a statement, and I stand corrected, where somebody has gone out to say that, look, sorry, like he is saying right now, that look, I am responsible. I think that is very important, because you have to stick your neck out and say that, look, this is what it is.
Here, by the way, I mean, just like a couple of days ago, Madhuri Dixit for the first time broke her silence on Twitter regarding, she being sent legal notices. And she said, she sent out like, about 3 tweets out saying that, I'm equally concerned about, the controversy around Maggi. I'm a Maggi noodle fan as well. I consume it, and I've spoken with the Nestle authorities, and they've ensured, they've reassured me that everything is in place. They adhere to the same safety standards, etc., etc. So she put out that tweet as, I don't know if she was told to do that, or it was somebody, her brand manager, the person who handles her told her, or Nestle asked her. I don't know, but was that the right move?
When there is a controversy that breaks out, and you're at the helm of that controversy in some form or manner, till proved otherwise, I think matters are sub judice, comment should be reserved. Whatever fact-finding has to happen will happen. So to that extent, I thought Mr. Bachchan's statement was good. I don't think Madhuri's statement was wrong at all. I don't think Preeti has made any statement at all.
No.
So according to me, and other people of the fraternity have said what they had to. So I personally believe that nothing has gone wrong as of now. But the caution is, if matters are sub judice, you say so.
I think, Sonali, there is a little investigation required in this controversy. And I must say this, I know it's beyond the agenda of this celebrity contract, but there's more than meets the eye. Like I opened with you.
I agree with you.
I mean, for God's sake, what was
But
where did this controversy come from?
who are you referring
2014.
Yeah,
to? Who are you
The
referring
event
to?
is of 2015.
If you're saying there's
You're
vested
talking about
interest.
report in 2015. So obviously there must. Shailendra is absolutely right. There's more than meets the eye.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
you're really piggybacking on a poor celebrity who's really done.
No, we're happy.
nothing
We got a
with
show to do with you.
Right.
I just want to ask one question. I mean, they've suddenly gotten up and said whatever they have for Maggi and, you know, whatever that is, right or wrong, we
For
don't
all
know.
packaged food.
Yeah. All packaged food is a separate question. My question really is about fairness creams, right? How come nobody has has sued any of these brand ambassadors or their companies, for that matter, regarding actually, you know, the effectiveness of fairness creams, teeth whitening, etc., etc.
Deodorants
How come that's
and
never
whatever.
happened? You deodorants, yeah? Women swarming to you.
Ameet,
How come
what
it's
would you
not
do?
happening?
Look,
I would only say this. I would only say this.
It's on facts.
We can have a ticker here. Nike and Nike.
The fact that they haven't been sued is that they never believed that they represented to them that this is what you would do. So you haven't seen that. One. Two is, even under consumer law or under criminal law and jurisprudence, it's not very easy. I'm telling you this, that you have habitual litigants who are doing this for publicity, and it's very easy. I'm telling you, the person who's a complainant, last year there was a film that released, and there are 590 complaints. There are so many other matters that this man has done. So his claim to fame is this. It's unfortunate. We can sit and laugh about it.
We're
But
discussing
ultimately, but the fact of the matter is that today you're discussing him. He will have a following. He will have a thing on Facebook.
The law,
Twitter.
And Twitter.
Yeah, the law permits him to do this.
So
He's
therefore,
doing
he's
it.
doing this, and therefore, ultimately, the only answer to this is, if ultimately frivolous litigation is condemned,
Yes, like you said,
there is
yeah.
slapping of good damages.
Yeah.
That's the only way to put
absolutely.
the rest to this. That's it.
So tomorrow, if I had to file a PIL, right, or let's say, you know,
An FIR.
or whatever, FIR, PIL. Let's say a gentleman, right? Let's say Shailendra files a FIR or PIL saying that, you know, he's used this particular deodorant, but he hasn't had women swarming towards you.
That's not fair, Sonali.
I'm sorry, I knew he was going to say that.
He doesn't need.
I mean, really, this has been a problem in the recent times. Oh, yeah, please tell me, how do we...
Would that stand the test of, would that stand in court? Because that is the claim.
Yes, I mean, you're on the
That is
spot
the
now.
claim.
Tell us.
First of all, he hasn't done it on your representation. One. Two is there is no criminality in this. If at all there is a
False
consumer.
claims, right?
The question is, whose false claim is it?
The company's false claim.
That's correct. You've answered it.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
it.
I'm talking
You've
about
answered it. You're
question.
talking about you were talking about celebrity.
No, let's forget the celebrity.
As far as
The question is for the company.
as far as the company is concerned,
yes.
you can under the act say that there is a misrepresentation on the basis of which this happens. So there is an action, if at all, liable against the company.
You're saying it will stand in
Well,
court.
it will have to be tested on a case-to-case basis.
What do
but
you mean by that? Tested
look,
on a case-to-case basis?
Is there in fact a representation by the company that you must use this and this is what will happen?
But come on.
Or does it?
Every deodorant brand today
exactly, that's the
this has the same story.
Again, I'm saying this, that ultimately an action will lie. Whether the action will be sustained on misrepresentation will have to be seen.
Do you think, Kamal, that marketers and advertising agencies now will not be taking creative liberties, right, in their ads going forward?
I don't think so. Like I said, this matter is going to die a natural death, even though
Yes,
he's
agree.
getting mails from all over the world saying, "Are you having Maggi for dinner?" I still believe it's going to die a natural death. Life
Content
will
was
be back
king in
to normal.
1990. Packaging is gone in 2000. It's going to work. It's going to be in
So
business.
I don't.
You don't
see-
think so?
I don't
you
think so
you
at
don't
all.
think you'll be slightly more careful about that script that agency sends you?
An air of caution in the script? No way.
Yeah, it's just a creative
Yeah, it's
exaggeration.
a creative
to say that this is the
exaggeration.
effect.
Look, I think some amount of creative freedom must be there.
Yes,
Whether it's in
But who
movies.
defines that?
Well, look, can I tell you something?
Please.
There are English judgments and law where it says that if you can't laugh at yourself or you can't laugh at anything, it's unfortunate.
It's an English law.
English law developed in India also
Okay,
now.
okay.
So therefore,
only
some
60
amount
years
of
of
humor,
independence.
some amount of sarcasm,
Right.
some amount of satire is permissible. And therefore, that can't be touching the touchstone of law and say, all right, this is what you've done. That can't. That
Yeah,
must be
but you
permissible.
know, like for example,
And that
when you
creative
take,
freedom must be there and can
Well,
never
you
be
may as well
diluted.
not advertise. You should just
when you
list the
take
product.
health beverages that say that you get additional height or this thing, those are, in my opinion, seriously misleading to some
Absolutely.
extent at times because They're bought with that intent.
I want to share one tweet, which is really, I think, which takes the cake. You know, when the ambassadors were, when it first came out, it first broke that the ambassadors are going to be, you know, being sent legal notices. There was a tweet that was very appropriate. It was a picture of Nicole Kidman, and it said, Etihad Airways hijacked, right? Nicole Kidman to be blamed. So I think that's pretty much...
It summarizes the entire story.
Absolutely well
The lawyers are going to make shitload of money.
That's the key.
My two friends are also going to do that.
Ameet Naik from Naik and Naik.